Hi, my name is Ted Jennings, and I want to talk to you about an online course that I'll be offering at the Chicago Theological Seminary called Eating and Drinking with Jesus. Since the earliest times when Christians gather together, one of the things they do is eat and drink in the memory of the eating and drinking of Jesus. In some traditions, this practice has come to be known as the Lord's Supper, in others as communion, in still others as the Mass, and in yet others as the Eucharist. Whatever the name, these rituals, liturgies, or this sacrament are shaped by the recollection of Jesus' last meal with his disciples. But a problem associated with this practice is that it often seems to be separate from what might be called real life. Sometimes it may come to seem just a routine performed every week or every month or even once every 3 months, but which does not really alter or shape our life. In the course, we will attempt 3 related things to try to enable us to think and also to act differently with respect to this practice. The first is to ask, what is ritual anyway? Why might it be important for the life of a community? What is liturgy and sacrament? Here I'll take into account work that engages not just theology, but also the human sciences that might illuminate the place and function of ritual or liturgy. I've been writing about this for some years, and so I'll share some of the things that I've learned from that study. The second approach we'll use is to pay attention to the criticism of ritual that comes to us from the prophetic tradition of Israel and from earliest Christianity. We do this because however important ritual may be for our common life, it may also substitute for responding to the call of God for justice and mercy in all our life. Several years ago, I started writing a series of books that asked how what we do in church can serve to shape our life in the world. In a book called Life as Worship, I considered the activities of prayer and praises as possible ways of shaping our life in the world. And in a book called The Liturgy of Liberation, I tried to do the same with respect to activities of confession and forgiveness. Something to the same question will be at work in this course as we look at communion or Eucharist. Much of our time will be spent looking at the eating and drinking practices of Jesus. We often recall what's called the Last Supper, but this needs to be seen in the context of Jesus' messianic practices of eating and drinking throughout his ministry. Indeed, it's also the case that Jesus continued to eat and drink with his companions even after his death and the resurrection appearances. Looking carefully at these New Testament stories will enable us to rethink what it means to eat and drink in ways that genuinely recall the messianic practices of Jesus. Finally, we'll try to think about what all this might mean for transforming the ways we eat and drink together in community or in our daily lives, so that these occasions may better reflect the practices of Jesus and may better prepare us to be truly engaged in the transformation of church and society toward greater justice and mercy. When I've done this course before, both in Mexico and in the United States, it's been a wonderful experience for all of us. I hope you will be able to join us in this adventure.